Hey, welcome back to Marriage Beyond the Veil.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, well, today is the
Friday the
13th.
13th.
Ooh,
Yes,
scary.
spooky.
But I have a question for you.
Okay,
You officiated many wedding ceremonies now.
okay.
What would you say is the most challenging part of the vow?
Changed when the detectives. The most challenging part of the vow.
Mm-hmm. For people to, I would say, wrap their head around. Because I know you go through it with your. Um,
Well, um, naturally, the day of the wedding, I don't think people really hear it
mm-hmm,
or allow it to sink in. So, in premarital counseling, one of the things that, as you know,
mm-hmm,
I'm very intentional about going through and dissecting. And not that people have, I've actually had a couple or an individual kind of um, protest or gulp or anything like that.
mm-hmm.
But I know that based on experiences and divorces and whatnot, the most challenging part is, I would say, the forsaking all others because you have a lot of infidelity,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, and indeed, the for better or for worse. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the for better or the worse. People can take the better. A lot of folks are not prepared for the worse, and they act as though the worst is not a possibility. It's always a possibility.
Yeah, it is. And we've shared over the years several people that we know have had the for worse happen immediately. And recently, I was listening to a story on our local ABC station, and a young lady was saying that she never expected to be a widow at 25
Yeah.
because of COVID. And I mean, it just goes to show you that when you're saying those vows, there's so much more to them than just those mere words.
And that's the thing. I think many times people will recite anything, but they don't embrace the depth, the seriousness of what they are actually speaking. Because there are so many things that you can kind of prepare for, but there are always things that you can't. And no matter how strategic you may be, how much you may have thought things through, life has a way of of making certain that your plans don't always work out the way you strategically plan, and things, people buy into the fairy tale
Yes.
and they lived happily ever after and all that kind of stuff. You can live happily ever after, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be some bumps and bruises and scars and some things that throw you for a loop. But you have to choose that happiness
Mm-hmm.
to have it ever after, despite what does happen and what doesn't happen, despite what you thought it would be and what the reality is. You know, you have to choose every day if you want that. And they lived happily ever after.
Yeah, you don't get to our 32 years or my parents' 64
Wow.
years
Yeah.
without going through some stuff.
Right. You have some scars.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely. Anybody that's been doing anything for any length of time, you've got some scars. Now, the wonderful thing about scars is this: whatever it was that injured you, that hurt you, has healed.
Mm-hmm.
But it also serves as a reminder so you don't have to place your hand on the hot stove yet again.
Right.
You have the memory. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So that was my question for today.
What a wonderful question.
Yeah.
So, what's the most challenging part of the vows for you until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same?
Bye.